Hi guys, I'm Ollie.
I'm Jessica.
And together we are Destiny Grows.
Yes. So we're talking about relationships. Relation is such a broad topic, but an interesting topic because these roles that women and men play have definitely changed over the years. It's not what it was 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's completely different. We like to talk a lot about the man being able to do this, woman being able to do that. I can do anything a man can do. And in reality, a woman was created to be able to help a man. You are your man's helpmate. That means that when you talk about a woman being weak or fragile, it just means that she's delicate. Doesn't mean that she can't do what a man can do. But also, as that woman, do you understand that you have to allow that man to be just that, a man? And you have your role as a woman to support.
Yeah.
Interesting topic. Hard topic for a lot of people, especially in today's society. Yeah. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that over the years, in a perfect world, the man would lead, he'd provide and protect. The woman would make sure home is taken care of, but over the years, so much has changed, now it's almost impossible to get by on one income. So women are no longer in the homes. We're no longer in the homes just to raise the kids and fix the meals and keep the house clean. Not saying that those are not duties that you shouldn't still continue even if you're working, but there are some changes that comes along with that. It's just different from back in the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I think with seeing that, I think there's just been a lot of people being raised in single parent homes, so they're not getting that example of what role a man should play and what role a woman should play in a relationship. You have the kids. We work with kids, so we're seeing the impact that has on children, and then they grow into adults that don't know how to manage relationships, don't know how to be in a relationship because they've never seen good examples of relationships. So
yeah, I was telling one of my guy friends, I said, a woman's job is to be able to be supportive of her man. That man's role is to be able to lead in that household. And when I say that man, that woman, I mean that man, that woman, that's husband and wife. Or at least as you're working towards that. You both have to have a vision, but most importantly, that man has to have a vision. And you're there to be able to support and encourage that vision. But what happens and what has happened over the years is that, like Ollie was saying, that you have women that are in the workforce who are taking care of the whole household. You have women that taking care of the household, being mothers, in college, opening businesses up. All these things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if there's a man in that house and that woman is doing all these things solely by herself, what does she have as a man? Now she has taken on his role. What position does he have to play? And just as important as it is for that man to understand, hey, she's playing the role that I'm supposed to be playing, he has to know that he can't even let her step into that arena. Why should she take on those responsibilities when he's supposed to be leading that relationship?
Yeah.
He's supposed to have a vision for you all. Not you have the vision, he has the vision. And for you to be able to be supportive of that. Keep them inspired, keep them uplifted.
Because leaders step into their roles as leaders.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I don't know what the song is called, but she said, you want to be the king, then you want to wear the crown, then you better be the king, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So, I think that just, honestly, I think that both roles have become very confused by the examples from the generation before us,
Or movies and TV shows.
Movies, society, with everything that you're getting, you know, all these reality TV shows of how you think it's supposed to be, and you know, and it has taken the roles and just really twisted it. You know, it's taken it to a point of it being unnatural. You know, not the way it was created to be. You know, a lot of women have trust issues when it comes to men. You know, we dealt with this person and that person, this person. We haven't been looking for the right things, and then we deal with the wrong people, and we develop our relationship characteristics from that. You know, you can't develop your roles as a woman, you know, when you're bitter or angry or upset or, you know, not trusting.
Yeah. I mean, how can you love with a bitter heart? How can you be open with a bitter heart? What's the natural thing you're gonna do? You're gonna say, hey, well, I'm gonna do it myself. You wanna do it, I'm gonna do it myself. But you have demasculated that man. You have a man in your home or in your life who is not being a man. And there you want him to grow up, but hey, you knew from the beginning he wasn't a man.
Yeah. And I mean, I hear so many women say, and trust me, my relationships have not been all gravy. They haven't all been good, but at the same time, I do accept my share of responsibility in those relationships, because I made the choice to be with people when I saw I had all the red flags I needed, and I still continue. You know, you fall in love with potential, you better be patient enough to wait on it. You better be patient enough to wait on it to come into fruition, because otherwise you are headed for a toxic relationship. You know, a lot of times people don't realize if you're in a toxic relationship, it's because both of y'all toxic. Both of y'all are toxic. It's not just one person, you know, because it's hard to be in a relationship with anyone and not become just as bitter, just as angry when you're dealing with the same things every day. You become that person as well, because that's the energy that you guys are creating.
And then you're already going into it with these perceptions of what a relationship is supposed to be like, what a man is supposed to be like. I can tell you, I'll be 35 this year, and I didn't realize that my perception of what a man is supposed to be was so to the left for many years. How could any man ever live up to this perfect man that I imagined?
Never had an example of.
And I never had an example. My father wasn't in my life like that. I grew up in a single home, so I was raised with a mother who did everything. She was independent. She barely dated. So it came trial and error when it came to relationships, because I had to learn these things on my own. When I got into my most serious relationship, I was with a man who was very traditional in the fact of doing things that a man should do. Take care of the bills. He gonna fix your car. He gonna do this. He gonna do. And I used to be like, I don't need you to do all that. I don't need you. I don't need. What did I kept saying, I don't need you. Guess what? He realized, nah, she don't need me. She don't need me at all. Like, she do everything herself. She gonna get her own car fixed. She probably get under the car and fix it herself. Like, it was that type of mentality. But it was funny because I was, and I still am, the type of woman that will work, come home, clean, cook, whatever. House can be taken care of. Where we clashed, he has very traditional values, I have very traditional values. Neither one of us knew how to bring it together. He wanted to be the head and lead. I wanted to be the head and lead. What did I have to do? I had to learn how to be submissive. Because if you have a man that is trying to lead, no matter if you feel like where he's going to go is in the wrong direction, it's all about how you say it, and you take it in and you present it to him. You can't keep nagging and nagging and nagging and nagging. Well, do it this way and do it that way. Let him talk. Ask questions. Find out what he wants to do. Find out what he wants to be. Find out if you even included in this vision.
Yeah.
Because honestly, If a man stop and tell you his vision, more than likely he's included you in that vision. I'm not just gonna tell his vision to anybody, just because y'all talking or y'all sleeping together. That means nothing. But if a man actually opens up, sits down, and tells you his vision, more than likely you're included in that vision. He's waiting for your support.
Now make sure you say in deep discussion, because sometimes these visions ain't visions. That's just the stuff they telling you to get with you. So you gotta be mindful of that. Make sure that's actually that he's moving into his direction that he's trying to go. Make sure he's moving into his vision, because you definitely want to make sure that he has a plan for it and that he's actually working on it.
But yeah, that should be one of the first conversations you have with somebody. As a woman, you should have a conversation with a man about where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years. Let him tell you what he thinks or what he wants, and then see how that conversation keeps progressing, because he has to have a vision. Him without a vision, relationship goes nowhere.
Yeah.
You all gonna be together for 7 years and never get married. 10, you gonna have kids, all this stuff, because you was looking at his potential instead of looking at understanding his vision and supporting it, feeding it, giving it life. That's your job as a woman. A woman comes with everything. In the Bible it says a woman was built. A man was formed. So if a woman was built, that means that God put everything in that woman that she needs. And you see it every day. A woman is nurturing. A woman is supportive. A woman is caring. A woman can be strong, because she's that man's helpmate. God created that woman just to be just as strong, equally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally as that man. She has to be, because she's the end. She's the end to his beginning. Yeah. Everything that he needs and wants is going to come when she comes in his life. So you have to be a woman, and you have to understand your role as well. I was telling the man, like, look, as a woman, we are supposed to be there to support you. All that, being able to talk to you about what it is you want in life. Being able to be supportive, being able to step back a little bit. If he says something that, you don't like, that he's talking about his vision, why kill it? He just opened up to you about what he wants to do with his life, and the one person that he probably thought could support and be there for him just killed his dream.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem, honestly, that we have as women. We don't be quiet long enough to learn the right things, the things that we need to know. I mean, when we start off a relationship, we so damn impressed with ourselves that we just constantly talking. Yeah, I've did this, I've did that. And I say we because I'm guilty of it as well. Oh, I've done this, I've done that, And I'm telling my whole life story, and this man ain't told me nothing about him. Nope. So the fact that he's listening, which is what he's going to do, because the representative is out, he's going to listen. I gave him the recipe to get me. But I ain't heard nothing about what he has going on. And I think that's a big mistake when you're dealing with somebody, when you're getting to know someone, and that process. A lot of men, oh, well, he's just quiet, he don't like to talk. No, you don't like to listen. You need to stop and listen. Mm-hmm. Find out who this man is, where he's going, what he wants, if you can fit in that plan, if you see yourself in that plan. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times it may be a man and he may have a vision, he may have a great vision, but it may be a great vision for him, and you can't see yourself developing and growing that the way you need to. Mm-hmm. As a woman or as an individual, but you have to be quiet long enough to learn and find out. Mm-hmm. You have to be quiet to hear and know what you want. Yeah. Too. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to know what you want. Know what you want as a woman. Don't settle. Be present in the moment. Stop looking at the potential and what you want it to be. Look at it for what it is. And be confident in yourself to say, hey, these are some of the areas that I know I'm struggling in. I know I struggled for a long time with patience. Still do. I struggle with patience. And I struggle with not being so independent. It probably killed a lot of relationships in the past because I was too independent. But I do it myself. I got it. I put gas in my car. I got it. I come see you and don't expect for you to put any gas in my car. I don't care to see you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or I don't went and brought you food or groceries for your house because you didn't have anything. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're the one that's giving and giving and giving, a man's natural position is going to be to protect and to provide for you. But if you're doing the protecting and providing all the time, where is he left? And he's probably going to accept it. I'm not going to let you do it.
Depending on what kind of man you're dealing with.
What kind of man you're dealing with. Because if you're dealing with a boy, he going to constantly let you do that.
He going to live off you.
He going to live off you.
And he's not going to have any issues with it because he's not thinking about us.
But the thing is, that man he might not even be a boy. He may just be willing to let you do what you're doing while he's preparing himself to be a man for another woman. You're probably not going to be the one that he ends up choosing in bed with because now you've taken on his role.
And I can tell you that's the most unattractive, from what I've heard, from what guys have told me, that's the most unattractive quality is for them to run into a masculine female. You know, nobody wants another man. And that's something I struggle with. Not saying that I'm a man, but I'm very strong and I'm very stubborn. So, you know, that's been a part of my struggle. But
it's deep. It's deep because, like, for me, like I said, I grew up in a single family household, single parent household.
Same here.
It was just my mother. My mother raised 4 kids. I was the baby. So not only was I spoiled, but I was in a house with a single mother who didn't really date. She had a good man who used to come around and do things for us, but she never let us see her really with him. So we didn't know that was her boyfriend, good friend. We don't know what that was. To this day, we don't know what that was. We just don't know. So, like I said, for many years, I had this perception in my head of what a good man was. I had pulled it from things my granddaddy was doing, my uncle, he did that was nice, and my granddaddy did that was nice. The man across the street, he did that. That's
pulling
what
all those best qualities.
All those best qualities.
Plucking them off.
Not knowing that it takes a while for a man to be a man. It's already in him. But you have to recognize some of those qualities, and then you come along as that woman to complete that cycle. You grow up as a woman, he grows as a man. And together you all become that Proverbs 31, Ephesians 5.
Yeah.
It's really just that simple. But, you know, your ass have to be open, so that's what you want and need. And you have to have a man that has a vision.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to go back to what the Bible said and what we saw in the video that we was watching. But the video pretty much hit on that when Eve met Adam, he was working. God said that Adam needed a helpmate. That means that he created her to be just as strong as Adam and to be supportive of Adam. I'm going to give her the brains. I'm going to give her the looks. She's going to be attractive. I'm going to give her the strength mentally and emotionally and spiritually to be able to help him, shape him into what he needs to be as a man.
Support, love, and nurture.
Exactly.
And respect.
Exactly.
Because man won't respect. From what I know of it, a man wants respect more than he wants love.
Yeah.
That's how he sees love, as respecting him.
Yeah. So if you're thinking that you're going to talk any type of way to this man, talk down to him, kill his dreams, and that he's going to come home happy, that y'all not going to have problems, that it's not going to be an issue, no. But men,
you can't talk to women any kind of way.
Either.
You got to love a woman right if you want to be loved, supported, nurtured. You got to love her right, because women these days, they don't have to accept anything. You know, this ain't Flintstone era. You can't
They don't have to accept anything, but to be honest, a lot of women have. You know, and I'm pretty sure even you and I are even in that category of accepting just about anything.
Accepting too much.
Because what ends up happening, like we said, you think that because he buy things or he a good person. No, that just means he could provide. He takes care of your house. That means he could provide. Does he bring peace to your house? Does he bring peace to your life? Does he make you want to push and do more? Does he protect you? Or will he let anybody say and do anything to you? And does he in return do the same thing?
Yeah.
You know, leadership is a very important. Yes, that man can lead, but does that man understand what that looks like? So men, do you understand what leadership looks like? Do you understand when that woman steps to the side and say, hey, yeah, you said you're going to do this right here. And I thought about what you said, and that might affect this. What do you think about this idea? Are you secure enough as a man and in your role in that household to be able to say, you know what, babe, you're right. I didn't think about that. Or are you going to take the idea of leadership and being a head to mean control?
Yeah.
That's not what that is. That does not mean you step all over her. That means you have her at your side. She is your everything. You all do everything together. Because regardless of what you think, a woman is a very important aspect of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
It's the glue that keeps everything together.
Tell us about that virtuous woman. What does she do? What does she do?
Oh, she do a little bit of everything.
Everything.
She up late at night watching out for the house.
Right.
She making sure everybody eats.
Mm-hmm.
She making sure everybody got. She thinking ahead. She making sure they got clothes for the winter to keep them warm. She making sure everybody eat. Mm-hmm. You know, she making her man look good. She buying land. She's what else? She's business. She's a businesswoman. She down at the market making things happen. She's doing a little bit of everything. Yeah. So don't think that your role as a woman is
just to stay at home and twirl your fingers and keep it clean. No.
Yeah.
Your role is just as important. You are just as equal to that household flourishing as he is. So say you can still have your own job. You still can have your own business. All that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Do that. Do your thing. But if something was to happen to that man tomorrow, have you put some things up? Money? Have you put supplies and things up? Have you been resourceful enough that if something happened to him, you all going to be okay?
And not looking at it in a negative tone of, oh, well, if we ain't together, I'm going to make sure I'm good. Not that. You should never start a relationship, and it's to men and women. Never start a relationship out looking at the end.
Yeah, or trying to break somebody already.
Yeah. So
can't survive.
You know, it's not about changing people. That's why I say keep your ears open. Listen to that person, not just men, not just women listening to men, but men, you better listen to that woman too, because what it starts off with is pretty much what you're gonna get. Mm-hmm. You can help a person grow to a certain point, but you still need to know what direction they're growing.
Yeah. So both of you all have to be growing. Has to be love, has to be respect, has to be honesty and support, you know, and strength there. You know, it's strength in numbers, and nobody came up with that saying for no reason. You know, two people in the household is better than one if it's an appropriate household. You know, like I said, there's so many other factors to this topic, and it can go in 1,000 different directions. Mm-hmm. But what we're saying is for women to be open to your purpose, women to be open to your strength, women to be open to growth in relationships, growth in a man, but also open to a man that has a vision and know where he's going in life. Because if he knows where he's going in life, and then as a woman, you also understanding, like Ali said, this is his vision, but can I fit in this? Does this vision work for me? Because if you're already in your head saying his vision not gonna work for me,
or you thinking about the changes you're gonna make to his plans,
mm-hmm.
you can't
do that.
You can't do that.
It's going fizzle. You know, it's gonna fizzle because now you have taken some subtractions and minus points and added into the relationship instead of adding some type of addition to it. You know, you are downing your role and how he handles
Yeah.
the relationship. So understand your worth, understand your purpose.
Be that P31 woman.
Yeah. Be that P31 and let him be that Ephesians 5.
All right.
And see what y'all can do. And watch that destiny grow. Because destiny grows
when you do.
Yeah. Nice talking to y'all. Let us know
right.
what you think.
Bye.
Bye.